Hey everyone, welcome to VTech Data. I know it's been a while since we recorded the last video. So we got super busy, and I have Wally with me. Today we do have an interesting topic. Hey Wally.
Hi Al. Hi everyone.
Hey. So
Happy
it's not.
Halloween, Al.
Yeah, absolutely right. So happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween to the audience as well. It's a very nice time, to record a video, and it's really fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
yes.
So so we don't want to waste time anymore. Let's get directly dive into the topic. So today we're going to talk about the best CI/CD tools in the market, right? Because most of the enterprises are directly moving into DevOps methodologies and agile culture, right? Because that's how you can accelerate your delivery speed and also you can ensure the product quality. So in DevOps, basically, DevOps is nothing but I just want to give a quick intro because just want to set the context right. DevOps is actually a continuous and automated delivery cycle where it acts as a backbone to deliver fast and reliable products quite into the market quite often, right? You can deliver things sooner, faster, and also efficiently. So that's why most of the companies are talking about moving into DevOps techniques and trying to use more of agile culture. That's all it's all about. So in order to activate DevOps, right? So you have to have a proper continuous integration and continuous delivery tools. That is what CI/CD is: continuous integration, continuous delivery. So a good CI/CD tool, basically, anyone can leverage in a team with a current workflow, and then use the automation features in it, and then create a solid CI/CD pipeline so that they can give the teams a boost, totally, to deliver the products sooner. So if you are basically new to CI/CD, maybe we're not going to cover quite a bit about CI/CD because this topic is more about what are the CI/CD tools that we can use. But if you're interested, drop a comment on the video. We can totally dive into CI/CD. And also from the last few videos, I got like quite a bit of good response from our audience asking for trying out different formats rather than the discussion way of discussing things and talk about specific ideas, right? Because sometimes visual are much more easy to follow compared to what we talk, right? And it's easier to understand. It's easier to get that concept into the mind. So yeah, I took that comment very seriously, and I'm going to come up with some nice format. I'm going to run it by Wally as well. So what do you think, Wally? So most of the audience last time, they were asking us about having some kind of a presentation based technique or some kind of a drawing board, whiteboarding technique, so that they can understand it better. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. Definitely, we can do that. Yeah, that'll be more easy to relate with because it'll be easy to capture the concepts as soon as possible,
Absolutely.
rather than a talk. Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we talk about a lot of stuff, right? And it's kind of tough to follow. And also sometimes our video gets like too long, where you kind of lose the track. But if you draw things or if you show things, our audience think it's much better. And I totally agree with that. So yeah, we should. So I have some concepts in mind. We can try it out in the next video.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, we can do that.
Awesome. So in this video, let's go back to the topic. So CI/CD tools that we're going to talk about. So basically, let's talk from the market leader. That's where we have to start with. So Jenkins, you might have heard this name quite a bit. So Jenkins is the market leader, and it's an open source. Most of you may not know because it's a very good and very highly adopted open source tool, and the ease of use is also it's very good. You do have to learn a little bit. The learning curve is a little bit. You have to learn about Jenkins, how to use it. But the ease of use, I would say it's better than most of the tools out there. So there are a lot of features. Since it is an open source, I would say the rating. If you ask me to rate it for the scale of 5, I would say Jenkins would be 3, because since it's open source, it does have a lot of features, but not a lot like premium tools. But it's a very good one. And also from integration perspective, Jenkins can integrate with n number of other tools, like for your code repository, and could be your build, some of the build tool that you're using, or Artifactory, Atlassian, all sorts of stuff. You can directly connect to.
Yes.
And also from hosting perspective, Jenkins, you can do it both on-prem as well as cloud. So that's another flexible thing, because most of the companies are using in cloud as well as in on-prem. So that's a nice one. And also it's a free version, so you can use it for free. There is a free version available. And also there is a license pricing as well. You can use that too. And another fun part is Jenkins is supported across multiple OS, right? You can use it in Windows, Linux, Mac, whatnot, Unix.
Yeah, even Docker image is also available for Jenkins.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can use it in a lot of, you can use it in container platforms as well, right? So that's an amazing thing about Jenkins. So other than that, so it's very simple, user-friendly interface. That's why, and also it was very early in the market, right? So that is why Jenkins is, it's very highly adopted, and a lot of people feel, that Jenkins is very easy to use because you can build schedules around it to do your continuous deployments. You have a number of things that you can do with Jenkins, because it supports shell commands, Windows commands, all sorts of things. So it's a fun tool. If you haven't tried, you should try it. When you adopt a DevOps mechanism, right? So you do have to have a CI/CD tool, and Jenkins is one good among them.
Yes.
So now actually we are specifically talking about the tools that are open source in CI/CD platforms. But when it comes to cloud platforms, there are specific tools for AWS, specific tools for Oracle, specific tools for Google Cloud, specific tools for Azure, and all, right? So those CI/CD tools, we're going to dive into that next video. So we can go into that deeper and then see, like, if your company is on a specific cloud, which tool you can use, and what is a native tool that the cloud platform themselves offer, so that you can easily integrate with it, and you can have fun with it as well. So that's an awesome thing that we can dive into that in the next video. And Wally, you were asking something, right?
Yeah, actually in CI/CD, how it is helpful in our day-to-day life. If you see like the number of code check-ins happen in a day, it's a huge amount. So when we have a CI/CD, like you can easily say like even each and every check-in, the CI/CD pipeline will run and it will show up the results as soon as possible. So like we can always ensure that the build is stable or not.
Absolutely, right. So that's the fun part of it. So whenever you check in some code, you directly activate or trigger, the integration and the deployment pipeline, so that automatically it gets the build gets tested, build gets deployed, and you will know whether it is something bad. And also you can set up the pipeline in a way that you deploy to dev environment, and then probably QA, gamma, and then you take it directly to production. So you can even set up the complete pipeline when you check in the code. So basically you don't have to, previously in the past, right, and in old times, we do these steps manually. It's quite hectic. And also sometimes we miss the builds. One build go to dev, and that same build won't go to QA, and the same build won't go to production. Now there is no more problem with CI/CD tools, right? Because it is continuously connected and it is a pipeline. So that's why we call it as a pipeline, right? So it automatically ends up in whatever environment you configured for. So you can directly do the testing, you can do the development, do the testing, and then you can directly deliver into production. It can happen all in the same flow, right? So that's the awesome part of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yes.
Yeah. Now most of the companies are using it, and I think totally y'all can relate to it. What we are talking about. So let's go to the second one. The second highest used CI/CD tool in the market, which is Circle CI. Circle CI, basically it is used for rapid software development and to publish the software, right? Circle CI has, it allows automation across users pipeline, starting from code building all the way to deployments, right? So you can integrate Circle CI with GitHub, GitHub Enterprise. If you have Bitbucket, you can do that. So you can create builds at any point of time, and then you can deliver it. And also Circle CI hosts continuous integration in cloud managed option. So it's like a managed cloud product. And also, you can run that behind a firewall on a private infrastructure like on-prem infrastructures. So Circle CI also offers all sorts of same benefits as Jenkins. So you can integrate with all sorts of services like Bitbucket, GitHub, and you can run it in a container or a virtual machine. It's very easy to debug. And also you can personalize, you can do automated, parallelizations. You can do quick tests. There are personal email configurations as well, where you can do, if a build fails, you can communicate through email, communicate through IM instant messaging. You can do all sorts of stuff. So this is highly customizable. It's very good. And the one thing I would say negative about it was, it's not a negative point, but it's available only on the Linux and Mac OS platforms. Not exactly. Maybe they are coming up with a plan to come up with one Windows platform, but yeah, currently it is available in Linux and Mac OS, and also you can use it in on-prem as well as cloud. So that would be one of the things that you have to think about. And also, it does have a free version. You can try it for free, but it is not an open source, right? It's a premium. I would say it's a private software, and it is not an open source. You cannot contribute code to it, but it does have a free version. You can give it a try, and also you can use some license pricing as well. So it starts from like, I think, $39 per month. So you can try that out if your platform is like very good. CircleCI offers very good features, and it is continuously, they are developing a lot of new features. And cool. And the next one we're going to talk about is TeamCity. TeamCity, it might be a new name for you, but some people use it, because they always adopt JetBrains platform. So JetBrains is the company that's behind this. So you might have heard of IntelliJ, all sorts of, code IDEs, right? So JetBrains actually developed TeamCity. So TeamCity is again a build management and a continuous integration server. So you can use it for use it as a continuous integration tool, and it runs in a Java environment, and it integrates with Visual Studio IDEs, because it's primarily developed by JetBrains. So they already thought about integrating with their own product suites as well as other IDEs. So for Java Teams, you might have already seen this tool, and also you can use token-based authentication in it. You can do Go tests, AWS fleet requests, all sorts of things you can do it directly from TeamCity. TeamCity is a very very nice, has a very nice UI, and also it has a native GitLab integration. So that's some cool things about it. And then specifically, if we want to say how do we rate TeamCity on a scale of 5, I would say 4, because the TeamCity is pretty good. And also it has like a lot of pretty cool features, so you should definitely try it out. The only downside of it is, you cannot use it in cloud. Currently it is only offered as on-prem, but I think they are coming up with some plans for that. What else?
So this TeamCity is available from the IDEs, IntelliJ IDE, is it like that?
Yeah, you can directly integrate it. TeamCity is a server, and also you can use it as a continuous integration tool. You can directly avail it from the IDE, so that's what makes it more fun. So
right.
Developers don't want to get out of the IDE itself, so you directly do it directly from IDE. But currently you can do the same things with other tools as well, but you have to do specific integrations. Since TeamCity is part of JetBrains platform, you can directly, it's already integrated. So that's the cool part of it. And also it's a little expensive, I would say, but again, it's like a one-off payment. It starts from $299. It's a very classy tool, and also it is offered across multiple OS. Like it doesn't have a problem with any OS. I would say major platforms like Windows, Linux, Mac, Solaris, FreeBSD, and there are a lot more operating systems they offer. So yeah, for developers, yeah, this is a very good one to consider. I think, yeah, that's pretty much about the TeamCity. Anything new that we want to talk about? Okay, so one cool thing I totally forgot about it, which is TeamCity can run parallel build simultaneously on different environments. This is something very different. It can do parallel runs on multiple environments at the same time. So yeah, you may have to think about that. And also you can it's very easy to integrate or extend to a server, and you can do user management, user role assignment, all sorts of stuff on the server itself. It's like a server, so you can offer licenses and all sorts of things, so that developers you can say at the same time 20 developers can use this. So you can issue a license on the runtime, and you can have people use it. So it's a pretty fun one. Let's go to the fourth one. So fourth one is Bamboo. Bamboo, it's actually a continuous integration server, similar to the other tools that we talked about, and also it has like a lot of native integrations. You can connect it to Git, Mercurial, all sorts of tools you can connect it to, and you can push your code to the registry. It's very fun, and also when you ask me to rate it, again, I would rate 4 for Bamboo. Bamboo is awesome. And it's not open source. You may have to remember that. But the thing is, you can use it as an on-prem as well as you can use it as a Bitbucket, on the cloud as Bitbucket, right, through Bitbucket. So it does have a free version, and it starts from $10 payment, which is a little cheaper than the other tools that we talked about. It is offered for Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Solaris. But another thing about Bamboo is, you might have come across this ecosystem. So Bamboo actually is part of this whole other ecosystem, which is, I would say, you might have used a lot of Atlassian tools, right? Like, I mean, Bamboo is part of Atlassian. It's developed by Atlassian. So you might be already using Bitbucket. You might be already using Jira. For those who are already using that ecosystem, it is very easy for them to adapt to Bamboo. So Atlassian is behind it, and so they are a very cool set of people, and Atlassian is a very good company overall. So yeah, they release features quite often, so it's a very good one to go with. And let's talk about the fifth one. Fifth one is GitLab. So GitLab is a newcomer. I think GitLab has like a lot of good features, and it has a suite of tools for managing different aspects of the software development lifecycle. Basically, the core product is the Git repo, right? Git repo manager, and also it comes with the features like issue tracking, analytics, wiki, all sorts of additional stuffs. You can trigger builds from GitLab. You can run, test, deploy code with each commit, each push, right? So you can do build jobs on the virtual machine, Docker container, or another server, whatever you prefer, right? GitLab offers a wide array of things because GitLab is very, very good in managing all the code across the platform. And also, it is not an open source; it is a proprietary software. Again, it rates equal to Bamboo and TeamCity. It's very high, and you can use it in both on-prem as well as cloud. That's an awesome thing. You do have a free version, and trust me, it starts from $4 per month per user. So it's very cheap. You can definitely try it out. It has like a lot of distributions, but GitLab is a little fun. So they started delivering this product for first Linux distributions like Ubuntu, Debian, CentOS, Oracle Linux. So they don't have any versions around because if you think about it, most of our deployments happen in Linux platforms. So that's why they were targeting totally towards Linux. I don't think they have any Windows or Mac OS availability for deployments. But yeah, so I think mostly from production deployment perspective, we do use Linux platforms, and they offer a very wide range of Linux OS support. So that's a nice thing. So what do you think about that? So actually, there are a lot of tools in the market, but again, there are tools like Buddy and Travis CI. There are a lot of things like CodeShip. Man, there are a lot of CI/CD tools, but these five are the top level competitors. Who can be deployed in on-prem as well as on the cloud environments. And most of the companies, from the survey perspective as well as from production perspective, a lot of companies are using it. So that's why we are talking about this. The main five. But there are a lot of tools, other tools.
I have one question. Like,
sure.
Is the GitLab which works with only the version control of Git, or can we use like the Bitbucket, another code repository? How does it work?
Yeah, I think you can. So GitLab doesn't stop you from integrating with other platforms. You can definitely integrate it, but all those integrations are not available natively, right? Because GitLab itself is a proprietary software. So you can do all sorts of integrations, but it's not native integration. So you can establish those integrations, and also you can totally use it. There are some fun stuff that is offered as part of GitLab, which is like application security testing. They call it as SAST, I think. It's a static application security testing. And also you can do dynamic application security testing. They call it as a DAST. So those are the things. And then you can do a dependency scanning, like similar to a Maven build, right? So you can do all sorts of dependency scanning in GitLab. So those are the nice things, so that you can make sure your application is secure, and also you do have a license compliance. So those are some nice things that is offered by GitLab. But yeah, so you can definitely use it integrating with other softwares, to answer your question.
Yes.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool. Yeah, so those are the main ones. And if you're really interested in diving into any other specific CI/CD tool, please leave us a comment. We can get into it as well, because we haven't covered all tools, because it will take at least an hour to cover all these different tools, because we have a lot of open source tools and proprietary tools in the CI/CD, in the CI/CD market segment, because CI/CD market segment is huge, because most of the companies right now are going towards DevOps, and there is a separate market segment for cloud-based CI/CD tools, cloud native, like AWS as code pipeline, and there are a lot of different tools available as well. So yeah, we should definitely dive into that native cloud native, CI/CD tools in our next video. But other than that, those are the main things that I want to cover in this video. Anything else you want to talk about, Wally?
I think we pretty much covered the major pipelines, CI/CD pipelines, which is in use.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
As you said, like we can cover more in the CNE based CI/CD deployments.
Absolutely, right? Because there are a lot of open source CI/CD tools, and there are a lot of startup companies who are developing some better CI/CD tools, and there are some container native CI/CD tools available, like Semaphore. So yeah, there are a lot of things that we can talk about. But yeah, if you have anything specific, please drop us a comment so we can definitely dive into it. And also, we will try to flex our format of presenting as well, and we'll give it a shot with that as well. Cool. And so yeah, it's Halloween, so we don't want to like talk too much. So this is like a very short video that we want to present out. And happy Halloween, people. So I do have a hat with me, so it's weird. Okay, that's cool. So happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween, everyone.
Okay, talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.